Hi, this is Tony, and this is the TruePlanning 2012 SR1 Introduction and Overview for the field testing release in September. Thanks for joining me. This video is one of 13 videos to introduce you to the new features and models in TruePlanning that you'll be testing, and we're really looking forward to your feedback because we want to get this product out the door in the best shape as possible. So please view the videos and start testing the product and give us your feedback. What we hope you'll do is read the field testing plan document, find your assignment, view the video for your testing category or categories. It'd be great if you could watch them all. Discuss any questions that you have with the developer while you're testing. We will have Q&A sessions on September 23rd and the 30th. At the end of the testing period, please use the Excel template that I've sent out and that you'll also find in the folder with the videos to summarize your findings. A reminder that what this release is all about is about winning back the estimator. We're delivering the Open Architecture COM API and some solutions that use that API. We're fixing bugs that we've heard back from the field. We're introducing new models to address some of the issues that we've heard, capabilities that our clients are asking for. So what we're hoping is that our clients, after they experience this release, will come back and say, Price is addressing the bugs and feedback that I've given them, delivering additional models that will make my job easier, and they have an open API that will make my job easier. Key considerations for this release include, one, it's a side-by-side installation, meaning you can install TruePlanning 2012 right alongside of previous versions of TruePlanning. So you can continue with your current estimates, keep the answers, keep the results the same, or you can export them and import them into TruePlanning 2012 but go back to the previous version at any time. So I have TruePlanning 2010 SR1 running on this machine, as I'll show you in a bit. I've installed TruePlanning 2012 and I run them side by side. Second thing you'll notice is it's faster in just about every aspect. Opening, closing, calculating, bringing up charts and results. It's a lot faster. The user interface for specifying and saving your favorite results and charts has been improved. We've also made a lot of modeling changes that do change answers, but for the better. Additional activities in the system cost object, and operation and support models, additional models for total ownership cost, fuel cells, and SOA governance. CERs have been improved in the system and operation and support costs. We've changed the operation CER. We actually found a bug in the production tooling and test cost estimating relationships. When you do production phased over time, we repaired that. And we've added the supply administration activities and the cost for those. And several companion solutions, including a solution to map the TruePlanning activities to your cost element structure, a solution to look at the sensitivity of an input parameter in a project, and a generic Excel solution similar to the one that we have for Price H. So I'm going to demonstrate some of these, just give you a quick overview using this Unmanned Combat Aerial System, a UCAS, and then please take a look at the video in your particular area that you're going to test to help. So let me get rid of PowerPoint for the moment, and what you see now down the bottom is I actually have two icons down in my launch bar, one for TruePlanning 2010, one for TruePlanning 2012, both with the same project called up at the moment. You can tell the difference between the icons with the little box at the bottom that says 12.1. So if I look at this UCAS estimate in 2010, I see it's about a $28 billion program, and all the activities, when I highlight the top level, here I'm looking at results activities by phase, they all fit on one page, $28 billion. Switch over to TruePlanning 2012. Well, we've added more activities, so they no longer fit on the same screen. I have to scroll down to find that it's a $57 billion program. Wow, quite a difference. Most of the changes are in the operation and support area. I can see that that's gone from $6 billion to now 39, almost $40 billion. The reasons for that are primarily that we've added new operation cost estimating relationships. Now, depending upon the number of operators, I'm going to get the full cost for operators for each unit for the time that it's deployed throughout the entire life cycle. We weren't doing that previously. We're using a different calculation, so we're doing that now. Also, we've added the two activities of initial supply administration and support supply administration. Those two were not in the model previously. We've added those, so that has increased the cost. One place where the cost has actually gone down, if I look at TruePlanning 2010 and focus on the production, tooling, and test, I can see that it was $5 billion, almost half of what my production manufacturing was. This was because of a bug in production phased over time in TruePlanning 2010 SR1. We've repaired that bug, and I can see that that cost has now decreased to $618 million, much more credible. Also, if we go back to TruePlanning 2010, I have a maintenance activity, and I have a project initiation and planning activity. For greater visibility, we've split up production, initiation, and other system activities into that cost or that activity in development, that activity in production, that activity in operation and support. And if I scroll down to the maintenance activities, I can see I no longer just have maintenance. I have unit level maintenance, depot maintenance, and organizational maintenance. This is information we got back from the field that was sorely needed. So we have more detailed activities going in. So some of the modeling changes include those. Next, if I go into TruePlanning 2012 and look in my cost objects and look into the system folder, I can see I have a new total ownership cost model. If I want to include the total ownership costs like what we had with Price H in the TOC Excel solution, if I want to include those in a TruePlanning estimate now, I can take this total ownership cost item, place it into my system, and now place the system that I had, the UCAS, entirely underneath that total ownership cost item, because it is now a parent cost object that I can put the entire system under. Now with that, I've added total ownership costs, all the activities, all the resources for the cost that we did not estimate previously just with the hardware component and the software components and the system components. Total ownership cost has its own set of parameters that you can modify. It adds a number of activities to the estimate that I'll see in the results in the charts. And if I look at costs over time, it's adding to the profile. So I can see I have my development costs, my production costs, my operation and support costs. So adding total ownership costs to your system is as easy as that. We have the new fuel cell model, which I've included in this estimate. To get a fuel cell backup system for auxiliary power to this piece of equipment, which has its own set of inputs with research conducted by Arlene. So there's some of the key considerations with the new release. Side-by-side installation, its speed, changes to the results and charts. When I bring that up, I see I have new icons for specifying my favorites. Modeling changes, additional activities in the system and operation and support, additional models, and changes to some of the CERs that we have. Finally, if you go to the Integrated Apps Solution folder, where we have several of, or 5 of the Excel solutions that use COM, you'll find among those one that will help you map activities to your resources. So this TruePlanning Activity Mapper, if you look at the Instructions tab, it'll tell you how to use it. The Activity Mapping tab is where you have a matrix that has the TruePlanning activities as columns, your custom activities as rows, and at the intersection point in the matrix, you put the percentage of the TruePlanning activity you want included in this custom activity. There are several features that help you do that. If I go to the add-ins and pull down the TruePlanning tab, you can see them. If I tell it to create custom activities and look at my activity results, I can see that it now gives me the results in that new cost element structure. In the description, it will tell you how the activity costs were allocated to achieve that item, and it will allow you to look at costs over time. I took that and added another tab that just maps those to another tab that I called the Army Cost Element Structure, added a couple of charts so that we have a graphic representation of what's going on. And you'll see that the profile here, even though they're completely different cost element structure, the total costs are the same as what I have in TruePlanning, so the profile is going to be the same. Let me close these. And let's look at another Excel solution that's in the folder. Let's look at the sensitivity solution. Yeah, this is one where I could go to the add-ins. I could say I want to analyze a project input. I can select a project from my projects that are in TruePlanning 2012. When I do that, when I select a project, it's going to bring up the product breakdown structure in this window. In this case, I've selected the fuselage that I can see has a weight of 29,000 pounds. I'm going to say, what if that weight of structure varies from 25,000 pounds to 32,000 pounds? Let me look at 10 iterations of that. I want to see what the estimated cost is going to be, and I say go. You can see in the top left, it's creating the results, where the columns are the input parameters and the cost that I want to see. The rows are each iteration, and it creates a graph showing me how the change in cost of that fuselage affects the total cost of the system. And lastly, let me show you the Excel solution that is similar to the one in Price H. It's just called the Excel solution. Here I have configurable columns. It's already set up with one column, so that if I right-click in any one, I could say I want to see a cost object input from the hardware component. In this case, let's say I want to see weight of structure again. I say OK. It's now in this column. I can go out my add-ins. I want to, again, open an existing project. I will open this one, which is another version of the UCAS. Status is occurring down in the bottom left. It brings in the data. I want to say, geez, let me look again at that 32,000 pound fuselage version. It changed the weight of the fuselage from 29,000 to 32,000 pounds. I can say, let's update that information. So I'll keep my eye on the $8.8 billion that it costs at 29,000 pounds. It's going to TruePlanning. It's executing the project, reperforming the calculations with the 32,000 pounds. And as it's processing, it's telling me down the bottom, it's updating the information, and we see that that fuselage now is $9.3 billion. Okay, so that, again, side-by-side installation, faster, results in charts, modeling changes, companion solutions. Please spend some time testing this release. We want to get your feedback. We want to know your comments. When it's finished, I'd like you to take the template and record your findings, finding by finding. Tell us the area, might be in the hardware catalog. Tell us who you are. What's the priority? Is this something you think really needs to be changed for this release? Please give it a description. Send us any files and tell us the names of those TP-PRJ files that show either the problem or the change that you would like to have happen. And we'll get to it and try to make this the best release possible. So thanks again. I appreciate it. Please view the rest of the videos and give us your feedback. Thanks a lot.